has 3, this has 2, and I hope you.
Yeah, but that's enough.
Everything possible to make this happen, but at the end, this is the risk and also part of being an entrepreneur. Failure is part of life. Yeah, and had the war of that Russia invades Ukraine. We had the changes on the financial startup market, that there is now a lot of more insecurity inside.
What actually motivates you?
Yeah,
it's the money, or or being in a good team. These days, I'm hearing a lot about bootstrapping. And people also say, the newly graduate students, though they have some interest, something like to do startups, they don't know where to start. Yeah. What do you think the best point to start with?
Absolutely, yeah, and to be clear, yeah, most of the startups fail. Yeah, this is.
I just, I didn't hold tightly, so this finger, so the ligament came, a little bit straight.
Oh, this is an amazing question, because this is a question that we are asking ourselves every day.
Okay. So can you help me to
yes.
How do you say?
So, this is how to create something that might change the world that we are living right now.
Great.
And he said, there's one guy, he develops exoskeletons. And I thought, wow, exoskeletons, what a cool thing.
Okay.
Yeah, I heard about it, but
So, Claudio, thank you so much for coming to my podcast. Actually, this is also my first podcast where I'm doing with an entrepreneur for the first time. So, I have a lot of questions to learn from you. To start with, let's discuss about how you actually started your first entrepreneurial trial.
Oh, this is indeed a good question. Yeah. First of all, thanks for having me, Jiri. I'm honored to be here, part of your podcast. Yeah, and my first entrepreneurial adventure was indeed in 9th grade, because I had the opportunity to build a school company. Yeah, so there was an extracurricular activity called Student Company. There I participated, and I had also from my family many role models that were entrepreneurs, that built small businesses. And I always felt like, hey, this is something that I like to do, to create something. And this is why then afterwards I started to study business administration with an international focus. And there afterwards, after my study, there came my first entrepreneurial adventure.
So the school company means, what did you do?
Yeah, so we created the so-called yellow energy savers. Yeah, it was a small project, for now almost 15 years ago, where also the whole topic started of how can we save energy, how can we live in a more in a better way with the nature, and we built some small games for kids in kindergarten, so that they learn by playing that you should not waste water, should not waste energy.
And this is at which age?
Oh, I was like,
of yours?
When I was in 9th grade, I was like 15.
So 9th grade, okay.
Yeah.
So that you felt successful?
Yeah, because we learned that by doing something, you can have an impact on our society. And we developed some small boxes with some games and so on that we sold to kindergarten. And they said, hey, this is amazing. It's a nice game, it's well developed. And the young kids, we're talking about kindergarten kids, 3 to 6 years, are learning that energy is something important and meaningful, and water too. Yeah, and there I experienced for the first time that the activities that you do in your professional life, can lead to an impact, not only in an economic one, also in a, let's say, society level impact.
So the schools have encouraged you to do that.
Yes.
Is it in the curriculum?
Yes.
That's really great to hear, right?
Yeah, this was amazing, and this is something that regretfully is not everywhere available. Yeah, but in my school we had a teacher that said, "Hey, I want to provide this extracurricular activity, so it's not mandatory, but at least for the person that are interested in it, they could engage with it." And there are even studies that show that the sooner young people are in touch with entrepreneurial environments, activities, this have an impact on their desires and wishes for their professional life. And I think this is something important that we will probably continue talking about.
Wow, that's really great. Okay, and after that,
so while I was studying international business administration, I had the opportunity to do a double degree program in not only in Germany, also in Costa Rica, in Latin America.
Okay.
And there I did my thesis about the economic impact of 3D printing, so a very innovative technology. And I was doing a primary research, talking with companies, with entrepreneurs about how they adopt this technology that back then in 2014 was quite new, especially in Costa Rica. And while I was there as German, many people asked me, "Hey Claudio, you're from Germany, I would like to buy a certain machine. Or I would like to sell my products to the German market, how can I do?"
Okay.
And there I experienced, hey, there is a certain demand for something. And I sat then together after we finished our bachelor degree with 3 friends of mine, and we said, okay, now we have a lot of contracts. They were in different countries, in Latin America, in Mexico, in Colombia, in Brazil, everybody facing the same challenges. So this seems like an opportunity. And this led to the first company. The company name was in this time Match-In, so matching innovations. And we wanted to bring through the Atlantic innovations from Latin America to Germany and the other way around. And you have to be aware that we were there super young. We were like 20 years. We had already done an internship in a larger company, 6 months, but we were, as you say, young and green. Okay. So and there we learned, being in the market, how it actually feels to run a company, and we sold then the first market study, for a ridiculously low price, but it showed us, hey, there is a demand, there is people willing to pay for it, and out of this developed really a small company providing basically sales services for Latin American countries in Germany. But we also faced challenges, For example...
So, sorry, you founded the company in Germany?
Yes.
Okay, that's interesting. Sorry, please, carry on.
Yeah, and we faced there certain challenges, for example, that we were basically selling our time, and what is something that is not really scalable, because what we needed to do is, in order to gain more, we could live with like our student life and with minimum salary, a little bit help from our parents, because it was not enough to pay 3 full-time salaries. And another disadvantage of such a service company was that after or while working for a company, providing a certain service or a market study, whatever, we simultaneously needed to find the next company for the next project, because otherwise we were in the middle, stuck without any company paying for us. And this led us to a point where we said, hey, this is not really working on scale, we need to change something. And there the first journey stopped and the second started.
Okay. And what is the second one?
Yeah, so We then thought
In fact, I say third one.
yeah. So, actually it's true. Yeah, and there we were thinking about, okay, how can we solve this? Because for us, giving up was not a solution. Yeah, and we thought, okay, let's focus 100% on our most interesting and most innovative client. That in these times was a Mexican biotechnology company. They developed certain fermentation technologies for probiotic bacteria, for the benefic bacteria of our bodies. And we thought, wow, this is really very innovative. It has a huge potential. So let's focus all our energy on this client. And he agreed. He said, okay, let's build something together. And together we build a trust, until the level that we said, okay, what we do is we found a joint company. So, and we founded the first Mexican-German joint venture in the biotechnology area that was actually transferring a Mexican technology to Germany. And this was back in 2016, 17. Yeah? And we built up a team with biotechnologists, with microbiologists that went to Mexico, learned about it. We transferred a bioreactor as the main asset built in Mexico to Germany. We built up alliances or partnerships with the University of Applied Science in Münster, where we were located in this time. And try to bring a first product to the market.
So what is the reactor? What does it do?
Yeah, it's a bioreactor, and what it actually does is fermenting probiotic bacteria. So you put, in simple words, you put the bacteria inside, you put their food inside. These are different kind of carbohydrates. For example, there's one that is called the inulin. It's similar to a sugar, based from agave. That is a typical Mexican plant, everybody probably knows. And there together, there happens the technology that the probiotic bacteria grows and create secondary parts that are benefic for the body. Okay. And this is something that in Mexico is on one side commercialized as a functional food or a food supplement, and on the other side also for medical applications. And this we were trying to replicate it for the German market.
Okay. How did it go?
So how did it go? We had tough learnings. Why? Because first we had to adapt the product to the market. And as it is a food, we were doing different trials with customers to see how we need to adapt the food so that it actually is liked by the customers.
So this is product based.
Exactly. We were developing or changing the Mexican product to the German needs. On one side because the taste is different. And on the other side, also because of certification and regulatory things. For example, for us, it was not possible in the first glance to bring a medical product to the market, because the regulatory demands are very high. So we started at the level of a supplement. But even there, and we have had some regulatory requirements that made necessary to change the Mexican product as it was before. So this took us already some time. Then in the market and the regulatory affairs, but we managed. We even got potential or very important sales partners, just as the Reformhaus chains. It's like a little supermarket chain for organic and healthy products. And the other tough challenge that we had to face were the operational level. Because as it is a new product with living bacteria inside, we had a very complex supply chain. So we needed to find a contract manufacturer because we had only a little laboratory in the technology park where the company was based, where we fermented the bacteria, but we could not process the food, and the packaging and so on. And it was very difficult to find a suitable contract manufacturer. That at the end we found one in Switzerland. That was was very far away, was quite expensive. We had issues with the borders and so on, as Switzerland is not part of the European Union. And we totally miscalculated how difficult is the scaling of the food. So we had a lot of trials that things went wrong. That in consequence we needed to adapt the recipe, then we needed to change the suppliers, and at the end we run out of money. We had some seed funding from Mexico, but we were not able with the time and money that we had to really bring it to the market. Besides, we had the customers, we did some like trial sales that were positive, and we had positive customers review, but at the end we could not provide enough product. Another difficulty was that the product, as it contained living bacteria, it needed a cold chain. So the whole supply chain needed in a cold chain. The shelf life of the product was not so high. So all this made it quite complex and quite difficult. So at the end, the sad end, but also the learnings out of it was, hey, we did the wrong approach, because then we were thinking about, okay, we need some external money. This was not possible due to the structure of the company, that we were some kind, it's a Mexican subsidiary, but not totally. So it was very complex, and thinking now about what we did was that we, instead of trying to reduce costs as much as possible and to reduce the complexity as much as possible, for example, by trying to ship the product from Mexico to Germany, or trying to let the Mexican team to adapt the product to the German market, this would have been quite or would have increased the probability of success. Of course, there's never a warranty. And to finish the story, something that I really acknowledge, and that taught me a lot of things in life, that after this, really sad end of the joint venture, all participants realized, hey, we all gave our best. We all try to do everything possible to make this happen, but at the end, this is the risk and also part of being an entrepreneur. Failure is part of life. And last year I had the opportunity to be back in Mexico again, and was really grateful to be there with our old partners, talk about it, and review these times.
If you always choose something which is always scalable, but what about all these service sector people? Do you think if something is not scalable or completely service based, they don't survive?
I think you cannot. I think you have to differentiate between a startup, that a startup always contains a scalable product or service with a highly innovative character, and a normal entrepreneurial activity. Like for example, if I open a barber shop, for example, this is clearly not a startup. It's not very innovative. Besides, I try to be different from my competitors. But nevertheless, it's clearly an entrepreneurial activity. But on a different level. And I think this is something that every person that thinks about to start their own adventure, they have to be aware, okay, which path am I going? Am I going the more traditional way, of having a well-known business model, like for example a barber shop or advisory service, whatever, or do I want to go the startup way that implies much more risk, but let's say more innovative character of the product or service I provide.
Okay, got it. But still, if it can be called a startup if it doesn't involve innovative part, but somehow
normally not. So a startup is usually characterized by having a scalable business model, so that you have a large addressable market, an innovative core foundation, so there needs to be something really new and really disruptive that changes the actual way our world is currently working in their respective area, and usually a team. There are not many examples of startups run by a team, run by a single person, while a traditional company can perfectly build it by one person alone. In a startup, you normally need persons from different areas that work together, that bring their experience and their knowledge inside.
Great. Okay, so my question is now, so you already have an experience of in a biotech industry, like you entered, you have seen a failure, that means you learned a lot. But why couldn't you choose the same again, similar kind of field, and try to thrive again? But you, instead of that, you chose something different, right?
Absolutely. I don't know. I think it depends on the personal background of the persons. And when we're coming to what I'm doing now, in 2019 I left the biotech company, and then I was open to new stuff. So my former co-founder, he went to Mexico and built there an e-commerce company, where I thought, okay, this is not the right step for me, because from a personal side, I didn't want to move from Germany, and I was here in the region where we both are now living, and I met at a community networking event. I met the leader of the University of Göttingen from the Entrepreneurial department, and he said, there's one guy, he develops exoskeletons. And I thought, wow, exoskeletons, what a cool thing.
Okay.
I heard about it, but I had never been in touch with these kind of technologies. And there, the next entrepreneurial adventure arises. That is not in the same field, but it has many challenges in common.
But you're still open to, if something is interested in biotech field, you will be open for that.
Well, me working as a professional, I'm always open to any kind of fields. For me, what attracts me is a compelling team and people that I enjoy working with, that I enjoy learning from them, that are different from me. So that we are enriching each other's. And second, I need a product where I think, besides the economic potential, it has some benefit for the world. I'm motivated it motivates me to have an impact on the world. I would never say never, but I would probably not attracted by a business model that were just focused on money.
That's going to be my next question. Actually, what actually motivates you? It's the money, or being in a good team, or a feeling of doing something progressive, or really an impact, or getting rich and wealthy in the future. What motivates you?
I think it's a mixture of all of them. So of course, I would be lying if I say, hey, money is not important for me. I think money implies freedom. Yeah. So of course I'm working hard and I'm working a lot in order to deserve also a good salary. Yeah, and can fulfill my wishes. But I think something that every successful entrepreneur or all successful entrepreneurs share together, that they are not motivated by this. Nobody is waking up early every day just to make money, or only few people. What really motivates us is to create something and to have the freedom to take our own decisions. And this is something. These are, I would say, besides the team issue, the two main factors for me to have a job that I love. Yeah, the freedom to decide what I do next and why. Yeah, of course you have always stakeholders that you have to be in touch. And third, to create something that might change the world that we are living right now.
Great. So in that get-together meeting led you to get introduced to that exoskeleton business. Right?
Exactly. Yeah. So it was not a business. Yeah, it was a research.
Sorry, it's kind of I should say startup.
Yes. Yeah. So it was in a really early phase. So there was the researcher with his scientific outcomes for providing exoskeletons. Yeah, means rigid structures to provide help and assistance to the body. In the hands and the fingers. Right. That is a very complex topic because we all have different hands with different sizes. Yeah, from a biomechanic view, our hands are as complex as the whole body together. Yeah, okay. Because we have a lot of little joints in the hands, and this was interesting to me. And then together we dig deeper, and we learn, for example, that over 1/3 of all work injuries are related with the hands and fingers. Okay. And it's obvious, our hands and fingers are our most important tools. Yeah? And the initial idea was to build an exoskeleton that helps people in rehabilitation. Yeah? Because the current status is, especially in high-income countries as Germany, you have an injury and you need then a lot of movement, a lot of physiotherapy. But we have a big lack of physiotherapists, what leads that people do not get enough rehabilitation. They get stiff joints and then they have long-lasting health issues with their hands and fingers. And the initial idea was, okay, we provide a movable exoskeleton, something like a robot, that you can put on like a glove that provides rehabilitation to your fingers wherever you are and all the time that you need it. And with this, to shorten the rehabilitation time so that we increase the quality of life of the people and that they can go earlier to work, what's from an economic point of view important. And we are helping the physiotherapists so that they can focus on more complex aspects of the rehabilitation. Yeah, that is not only the mobilization of the fingers. And with this proposal, we got a grant of 1 million euros to create our first prototypes to the market.
Great. So here is this your product, right? So this is your first product. So can you help me to
yes.
How do you say?
So this is how you use it. Okay. But there's something important I think we should touch first, that our initial idea was not the one that we actually bring on the market.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because as I just described, we started with the idea of a exoskeleton for rehabilitation.
Okay.
And we were starting with it and we explored more the market and we saw actually it's a quite difficult business case. Why?
Why?
You have a long time to market because in order to create a new medical product, you need a clinical study, you need to go to the certification.
So that comes under medical product.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's a exoskeleton for rehabilitation, so it needs to be certified. And to certify a new product, you need a clinical study. And already clinical study costs hundreds of thousands of euros, and lasts a long time. Then, besides the clinical study and the certification, another barrier is the reimbursement. Yeah, we here in Germany, we have very strong governmental social securities. That is very difficult to get inside so that they pay you the device.
Correct.
Yeah, everything is possible. Yeah, every barrier you can go through it. But for a very small team of 4 persons developing with limited time and developing a very complex device with a motor that reacts to the fingers with the different sizes, it was quite complex. And then we had the economic changes in our world. We had the war of that Russia invades Ukraine. We had the changes on the financial startup market, that there is now a lot of more insecurity inside. And all this led us to the decision, hey, this is quite risky what we are doing, but we have a lot of technological foundation. And to apply the knowledge that I gained before, we were thinking, okay, how can we get as fast as possible to the market so that we can get revenue by ourselves as soon as possible? And there we had some different ideas to narrow down the technology to a core. And after some months of research and talking with potential partners and customers, we said, hey, what actually makes a lot of sense is to provide the exoskeleton before people get injured, like as a tool for work safety, and that improves the ergonomics of the workplace.
Prevents injuries.
Absolutely. And this is what you have on your hand. Yeah, so you have here basically 3 main features. On one side, it's a rigid structure. Yeah, so if you have a bruise or something, your finger is way better protected than, for example, with a glove. Yes. The second thing that, and for this feature we actually have been awarded with the German Economic Award, is the overstretching of the joints. Yeah, that when you press a lot, your joints get overstretched. And here, with the joints of the exoskeleton, this is prevented.
That's happened to me last time when I was accidentally closing the window. I just, I didn't hold tightly, so this finger, so the ligament came, a little bit stretched backside. So that gave me a lot of kind of pain and injury also. Yeah. So it's not allowing that to happen, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, got it now.
And the force of the exoskeleton when you press, for example, here, is distributed from the very weak joints that are very far away from the core to the more stronger parts of your body. Yeah, this is how everything works. And then we have designed, for example, a flexible fingertip so that you still can grab a pen or whatever while working.
Yes.
Yeah? And this is right now not your size, but with this product we created last year the first prototypes. We went to companies to test it. We launched the product at the end of last year at a big international trade fair. Then we finished the certification. And in this year, we now started to sell the exoskeleton, have first revenue, and are now in the scaling mode, of talking with a lot of big automotive companies, for example, to help people in the assembly lines to improve their health, to make their workplace safer, and at the end to also increase productivity, by providing a tool that makes them to work better.
But to design such a product, you need a kind of biologist or at least who knows the,
engineer. Yeah.
Right?
So
and mechanics.
Yeah.
And a lot of other people, right? So you have all the. It's a team with all the.
Absolutely. Yeah, and we're coming back to the team topic of startups.
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
So, for example, I share the managing director position with an orthopedic technician. Yeah, my co-founder Viola has a background in orthopedic technician. Yes, he's a certified prosthetics and orthotics. My other co-founders are engineers. Yeah, one is a medical engineer, the other one is engineer in precision technology. So with very small parts, he's taking care of the quality management, and this is why without them, I could never ever go forward with them. Yeah, and together we're sitting. Now we have 2 employees, one sports scientist, another engineer. Yeah. We have some student workers that help us every day in improving our devices and building a better product.
Okay. So what exactly happened on your first meeting, in the startup meeting? You got motivated, and did you approach first to the team to be part of the team?
Yeah. I remember when we met first, my co-founder Miguel and me, that is the technical inventor. We were there together with Professor Arndt Schilling, that is also a co-founder of us now. He's the head of the research and development of the University Medical Center in the field of orthopedics. And we sat together and we said, okay, this has a lot of potential. What can we do out of it? And we decided together, okay, let's apply for this grant. It's called Research Transfer Grant, Exist in German.
Yeah.
And end of 2019, we applied for the first time, with the idea of the rehabilitation exoskeleton. And of course, what happened? We failed.
Oh.
Yeah. We worked 1 month full time in doing this application, but it was not granted. Why? Because it was not good enough. And the reviewer said, hey guys, you have a lot of potential, but you really need, in order to deserve 1 million euros, that is a lot of money and a lot of responsibility, you really need to do your homework. We said, okay, this is fine. So we applied to an acceleration program, that we did here in our region with the Life Science Factory. That is a acceleration place for life science ideas. We improved this. We improved many things on the technical part. We had then like a little grant so that Miguel could develop some further technologies that were required for the exoskeleton in this time. And then we applied again in 2021. And there it was granted. So that we could actually start in 2022. From the application to the actually start of the project, it was even more than 1 year.
Yes. Okay.
And what shows it to us, you really need to have a long-lasting energy and power and be patient. Nobody will create a great company from one day to another.
Yeah. And there also will be a lot of disappointments in the team, right? And especially when you're failing or not getting what you actually aim for. And preserving the team spirit at that time is very important. So what
Absolutely.
do you think? What is the best approach to do that? To maintain the team spirit, especially when you're repeatedly failing.
Yeah. So on the first side, I think it's normal that a team changes. So from the first application to what we are now, the team has changed. Besides Miguel and me, we had different persons because we thought that different persons were required and so on. And this is a normal process where all startups go through. What is
good point? Even because this is happening to me too. So I thought maybe there is something wrong when team is not static. It's always dynamic.
Exactly.
So we have to accept that, right?
Yeah.
Cool.
It's always dynamic, and at some point of the history, it's getting like close, and you see, okay, these are the right persons from the knowledge side. Of
Yeah.
course, it's very important that you have synergic fields, like we have, and also the right spirit. Yeah, you need persons that are able and willing to do such adventure. Yeah, being patient, being resilient to failure, open to learn, open to do new things, open to do things that they have never done before. Yeah. Because many people say, I cannot do it because I have never done it before. But in a startup, you always do things that nobody ever has done before.
Exactly.
Yeah? And this is a normal process that takes time.
That's time, right? Yeah, sometimes if a startup says, some startups get money first, or some startups get team first, or some startups get everything first but team later, or a small success at the beginning, again failures, a lot of failures at the beginning and one success. So we can't really compare from startup to startup is actually what's happening inside, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And to be clear, most of the startups fail. Yeah, this is a reality, and this is why people in the startup sector say always fail fast. Yeah,
right.
And we learned our first idea of the rehabilitation authorities, where many doctors and physiotherapists said, "Hey, this is a great idea." We learned, okay, the market and our strategy are not aligned. It's not possible right now. Let's not do it anymore. And we had tough decisions and tough times, saying, okay, either we do something else or we stop this. We give the money back from the money that was already granted. And it was necessary. Yeah, and I think this is a very important learning for everybody. Yeah, instead of running into the hole, hey, stop, analyze it, and when you see it doesn't make sense, do something else.
Right. So if a newly graduate student wants to really join a team or start a startup, right? So what qualities does she or he needs? So openly go and talk to the people, or even ready to fail? What kind of qualities do you think is important right now? Because the newly graduate students, though they have some interest, something like to do startups, they don't know where to start. Yeah. What do you think the best point to start with?
Yeah. From my experience, the most important point is that you get out of your own bubble. Yeah, because you studied biology, engineering, or maybe business administration. You need to connect and work beyond the specific field that you have, because only then innovation and synergy is actually coming up. Yeah, and then there are now a lot of spaces all over the world. Yeah, because everybody saw how important it is from an economic point of view to have a growing startup scene. Yeah, I think in every city in the world you can go to network events and meet our people and see, hey, what is your idea? Hey, I have a small company, but I need a software developer to make my idea happening. Yeah, here I met this software developer that is searching for somebody that has a nice idea that he can help with. Yeah, and this is how it is done. And I, for example, I've participated at an acceleration program of an institution called Founders Foundation, that, by the way, is great in bringing different people together and let them solve problems. Also, another very famous concept are the Hachathons. Yeah, that for a weekend from Friday to Sunday, you really work hard on important problem of our time and create a first mini solution. And this often is the starting point for the future for creating a startup.
Okay. Do we really need a product to start a business or startup?
Definitely not.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
In startups, there's a concept that is called MVP.
Yeah.
The minimum viable product. That could be a PowerPoint slide. That could be a sketch, a drawing, a rough prototype. Yeah.
Okay.
Because the first thing that you have to ask yourself is, who is the customer and do I really solve the problem? Yeah, do I have a problem solution fit? And for this, instead of, okay, now I'm in my cave, working for 1 year to build from my point of view, best product, what you should do is to go out, talk with the customers and learn and see, is this really what they want? How do they want it? What are the minimum features a product needs so that you can start in the market and continue learning? So this is why my clear advice is, don't build a product, talk with your customers.
Okay. So when I started some idea, wanted to start a startup, so my feelings are like, I don't want to express the idea to anybody, because I thought my idea is great. So I even hesitated to build a team. Not me, like usually this is what happens. When an idea is stuck in your brain, immediately you own it and you think that is really potential, and always hesitate to go to either customers, also to the team people. I mean, to build the team, or even to raise the funds. So, I mean, people come and go, right? Team, right? So when people are coming and going in the team, what about the secret of the business or this product or whatever?
Yeah. So first of all, this fear is something totally normal, but it's really not an issue. Yeah. Besides, it's blocking. Fear is a how do you say it? Sentiment. It's a feeling that prevents you from doing things. So, and now we have different layers. Yeah. What you should do is always to go out to tell people, hey, this is my idea, and of course on a maybe abstract level. Yeah. If you have something that is very inventive, you maybe want to file a patent and so on. Yeah. But this is something that is often not needed, or almost never needed, to really discuss about the idea. Yeah, if I tell you, hey, I want to heal cancer, and what I do is to do certain biotechnology, you can talk with your customers. Yeah, it's based on my research without revealing industrial secrets.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, and inside a team there are many things that you can do, a contract, a so-called NDA, non-disclosure agreement, to have more protection regarding this. But fear of that somebody steals the idea, you should never have it. Because most of the ideas either have already a lot of competitors and first need to prove if they are really better. And second, you lose more than you gain by not going out and talk with people and improve the idea.
Got it. So, for example, for the students coming from abroad or expats, if they want to start a startup here in Germany, does the language becomes a barrier? To what extent?
To what extent? This to the right thing. Of course, to start a business in Germany, you need to have people in your team that are fluent in German. In order to, for example, ask for governmental aid, in order to get certification things done. But for example, in our company, we only speak English with each other. So it depends. In a synergic team, it's not necessary that everybody speaks German, but that at least somebody speaks German. I would say this is not required, but it's very useful.
Got it. Yes. So, when to incorporate the company?
Yeah. I think there's no right or wrong answer. We created our company last year, so after working already more than 3 years with it. Why? Because it's not needed to do it before. In order to evaluate the market, to speak with people, you don't need to create a company. And I would suggest that you should create a company when you are very sure that you have met the product market fit, the problem solution fit. When you're really sure on this, and there's also a bunch of literature that we maybe can put in the show notes or so on, to help to give people tools that help them, hey, do I really reach certain level or not? And I always recommend to go to some kind of acceleration models that help you to get to this matureness of a business, and then you can or should found a company.
Because sometimes people say that if you don't incorporate, investors don't come to fund.
Yeah.
Is it true?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah. So there are investors here in Germany that they can even found the company with you. Yeah. We have certain investors on our side that they are open to found the company with you. Yeah. But of course you need before everything that any normal company also has. A business plan. A clear, unique selling point. That differentiates you from your competitors. How it is protected. A compelling team. But all this you can have it without establishing the company first. At the end, the company only creates bureaucracy for you and allows you to create invoices for your customers.
Got it.
As long as you don't need both of this or one of these two things, probably it's not necessary. And even worse, there are certain governmental aid programs that by creating the company first, you cannot apply for them anymore.
All right. Okay.
If we would have created the company before starting with the Exist research transfer, we would not have got the money.
Got it. Okay. These days, I'm hearing a lot about bootstrapping. And people also say, hey, if you have a lot of investors and they deviate you or they spoil your primary strategy or product strategy or whatever. So and a lot of pressure, something like that. What are your comments on that?
Bootstrapping is a wonderful method for certain type of startups, because bootstrapping forces you to radically be close to the customer, and in order to survive, radically make revenue with your customers. And this is amazing because this gives you a lot of independence. The price of bootstrapping is that by not having external money, you often grow slower than companies that have external money. And furthermore, there are certain companies that cannot survive without external money. If you are a medical product, if you are from the pharmacy sector, you need years in order to get your first revenue, so you cannot bootstrap. In our case, we have a physical hardware product that needs to be produced before. If I don't produce it before, I cannot sell it afterwards. We have operations and so on. For us, bootstrapping was not the right strategy because we want a product that immediately addresses a very big market like assembly lines in automotive industry. And this is why, from our point of view, the strategy of going with investors was the right one. But it's a decision that every startup, based on the business strategy, and all founders, based on their preferences, should take. And both ways have their pros and cons.
Wonderful. How to sell? And what kind of strategies are you following to sell?
Oh, this is an amazing question, because this is a question that we are asking ourselves every day.
Okay.
And the center of everything is always the customer. Now, in our case, we have a customer that is, for example, a big company, and we have the user that is actually the worker at the assembly line working with it. He is not the buyer.
Okay.
But you need to convince both in order to be successful. Yeah, and in our and in general in sales, you always have to see, okay, who is your customer, what is the market, and what are then the right strategies. Yeah, if you are a business to customer, like B2C company, the strategies are quite different than when you are a B2B, a business to business company. Yeah, in our case, we adopted, besides everybody can also imagine some B2C use cases, we were really strong on, okay, let's go for large clients that have manufacturing lines, do tests with them in order to show them, hey, the users are happy, the benefits that I said before are actually true, and then it makes sense to implement it in an assembly line. And this is the process we are currently doing. Yeah, so we are with very large automotive brands in different types of the introduction phase.
So usually, who are your customers? Like automobile manufacturing?
Exactly. Yeah, like the big brands that that everybody knows. Also on the supplier side, also other assembly companies, smaller companies that are assembling windows, larger companies that are assembling household machines like washing machines, dish washers, and so on. And there we go with the device, we present it, we test it with the lines, and then we actually sell it.
But don't you have competitors?
Of course we have competitors, and as always you have direct and indirect competitors. So what is the status quo? Yeah, the status quo is that people use gloves. Yeah, but the safety gloves do not have the benefits that our exoskeleton has. It's not rigid. It does not protect you from squeezing. Okay. It does not protect your bones and joints from overstretching. Yeah. So this is why the status quo, we have we are better than the status quo. And also we are not the only ones on the planet that are doing finger exoskeletons. But thanks to our technology and our years of research, we managed to be the best devices for our use cases. And this is something that our distributors and our customers say, okay, this is really the device the users needed for their tasks.
Okay. As an entrepreneur, how is your daily habits or like daily chores, to say? What time do you get up, or how enthusiastically you get up, or how is your daily routine usually be?
Yeah, so in our company we are starting relatively late, between 8:30 and 9, and
8:30 in the morning is late.
Yeah, right. Absolutely. Yeah, so there are many entrepreneurs that start at 6 in the morning, in order to have before everybody starts.
Yeah. You mean not getting up?
Not getting up. It's starting.
All right.
Yeah. But we are a group of founders that we start a little late, because I believe in that sleeping enough is very important, and then we work usually until 6:30 in the afternoon. Yeah, in a normal day. Yeah, and from the habits, I think it's always a trade-off. Yeah, because there are always 1 million problems and challenges you want to solve. But everybody knows that when you're not fit, when you're not healthy, you are not productive.
Do investors ask for your fitness or health?
Definitely. Of course there are different type of investors, but the kind of investors that we like to work with, they understand that if you're not healthy, then it makes no sense. Yeah, because at the end, on the long term, you will lose productivity. Yeah, this is why we have normal vacations, and from time to time also say to each other, hey, you worked a lot this day, go a little bit earlier home. Yeah, because everybody is really giving 120% for the company. And this is something that is not it's not hurting or something. It's something that we really want. If I could, I would love to work more during the day because I love what I do. But of course, it's not healthy. I want to spend time with my family too. And this is always a tricky trade-off that it's one of the hard sides of being entrepreneur.
Right. People say startups are like, it's very hard work, chewing like, glasses or something like that. Is it true? Or is it the only way to do a startup? Or is there also like a smart way where you can also enjoy and you don't really feel hard work, or you don't do really hard work or long hours?
Yeah.
So please give me your inputs.
Yeah, this is at the end, it's a cultural question. Yeah, there are these entrepreneurs that start at 6 in the morning, they end up at 10 in the evening, they work Saturdays, Sundays, and so on. Yeah. And there are from time to time, and everybody that also works in project management knows there are sometimes tough times that requires this. But if you do this on a routine, at least from my belief and from the belief of our in our company, this is not sustainable.
Right.
Yeah, this is why you need a work-life balance. Yeah, this is why we try to not work during the weekends. Sometimes it's necessary, yeah, but it's not the standard in our case. And at least I would not recommend to anybody to do this on a regular basis.
Yes. So, what do you think about work from home culture?
Yeah. I think that as everything in life, working from home has advantages and disadvantages. Yeah. So, for example, I have 3 workplaces. Yeah, I work 3 days a week from our office with our whole team. I work 2 days from a local co-working space, next to me, where I have different colleagues, that are from different companies, and I enjoy having lunch with them and enrich each other while chatting with each other. And I have a workplace at home where I sometimes want to stay to be calm, to have nobody that interrupts me from work. I shut down my phone so that nobody can call me. And also there, I think it depends on the company culture. Yeah, we as a company, we believe also with a hardware program that being together at the office is very important. Also for the team spirit, to take a look together at the physical product. But I worked also in the meantime for a company that was totally remote. Also, it was in COVID times.
Okay.
We saw us 2-3 times a year. And it was amazing. Yeah,
that works really.
Yeah, it really worked. I had what I didn't like is that I was looking so much into the computer. Yeah, and I got like this feeling of that my eyes are transforming. But it worked, and we had a great company culture together. We even sit in the computer in COVID times after work and drink a virtual beer together. It was amazing. So I believe everything can work. At the end, it's the cultural decision of the founders how they want to manage. And at least what we try to adopt is to bring the benefits of working from office, working from home, and working from third places, everything together.
So what are your aims with this product in next couple of years?
Yeah, we believe that this exoskeleton is something that in a few years will be as normal as the work safety shoe. Yeah, you don't see, or like a helmet on the construction site. Yeah, because it prevents injuries, it helps people to keep healthy, and this is for our first product that is called Artus that you wear right now here.
Artus, yes.
And on the technological side, we have a lot of plans. Yeah. So now let's think about in the future if we could have sensors on this exoskeleton.
Right.
Yeah. If we could get or gather data while performing manual work, when we both probably heard about Boeing, that while flying the door was coming out, probably from a quality management side, somebody did not their job. And right now, there's no method in order to really measure manual working tasks. And this is something that we are right now working on, so that with the exoskeleton, you can measure if a certain part was really assembled with the force it deserved, or it was really mounted in the way it's necessary, yeah, from a quality perspective. And not only this, yeah, then the whole topic of the active device comes. That brings us whole new use cases, yeah, that I have an active exoskeleton in order to perform rehabilitation, yeah,
with its own power.
Absolutely, or to have a stronger force while gripping. A lot of, especially the users ask, "Oh, can I get extra power with it?"
Yes.
Not yet, but we're working on it.
That's interesting. If I want to buy this, can I buy as an individual?
As an individual, you currently cannot. Yeah, because we are focused on B2B. Yeah, this is why sometimes we get mail inquiries or people calling, "Hey, I saw your exoskeleton maybe in our podcast. Can I buy one?" Yeah, this is something we right now cannot do because we are too small and we're focused on businesses. Yeah, but of course, everybody is free to write us a mail. We have a catalog of people where we save them, and once the product is possible to buy it for end customers, we will send a mail.
But this is not ready in the market.
It is in the market. People use it. Companies can buy it, but not individual persons.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what about the colors?
Yeah. This is a good question. Yeah, because we have played with the different colors, yeah, but we saw that the acceptance of the workers were not high. People didn't like it when it was more shiny and so on. Right now, you see it looks very not appearing so much, because at the end, the exoskeleton is not the center. The exoskeleton is a tool. What's in the center is the worker and the product that he actually creates. Yeah, and normally people use it on top of a safety glove. So they have still their safety glove, put the exoskeleton on top, and then you cannot even see it so much. And this is something where we learned that then the acceptance was higher.
Okay. So the name of the product is Artus,
yes,
and the name of the company is Digity. Right?
Digity, yes. And where does it come from? Digity comes from the Greek digitas, that is the finger. And artus is from the word articulation, yeah, so joint.
If I ask you to give a message to upcoming entrepreneurs, in short, what do you give?
Yeah. Be open-minded, find good colleagues that you work on, and work on something that really passionates you to change the world for better.
Okay. So, thinking back, do you ever think that your second or first startup could be still continued in some other way?
No, I didn't. Yeah, because once you finish something, then I think you should then focus and concentrate 100% on what you are actually doing right now, and not thinking about the past and what if. This is something that at least I think does not bring you forward.
Great. So with that, I wish you very, very all the best.
Thank you very
once
much,
again,
Gigi.
thank you so much for coming to my podcast.
Thanks to you. Happy to be here.
My pleasure.